Hello everybody, Terrific Studs is back again to share with you our break-even point analysis. So without any further delay, let us now dive into our presentation. To begin with, let us try to enlighten ourselves and take a little recall about break-even point. So what is break-even point? Break-even point is the level of sales at which profit is equal to zero. It is a term that refers to the situation where a company's revenues and expenses are equal within a specific accounting period. This simply implies that break-even point is the moment or point in which there is no net income and no net losses for a certain company or business. This is what it means when we say that the profit is equal to zero. Okay, now that we are acquainted with what is meant by break-even point, let us now move on to the selling prices of our very own mouth-watering products. As what you can see, we have here a breakdown of our ingredients with each of its respective costs. These are all added together to get the cost of each product. So my partners and I decided to have a 65% markup in order to arrive at the selling price. We have here the selling price summary. There is a need to determine our selling price first because these prices are needed later for the break-even point analysis. So for the classic milk teas, our selling price is 50 pesos, 90 pesos for premium, and 110 pesos for deluxe. So in these contexts, fixed costs and variable costs are also needed in order to get a comprehensive break-even analysis. We have here a table that summarizes our fixed costs and that totals to 22,870 pesos. And for the variable cost, we have 30.25 for classic, 54.5 for premium, and 66.5 for deluxe. Within this frame of reference, we have here a table of sales mix. Our business assumed that we have sold 1,500 cups in Classic, which amounts to a total sale of 75,000, a sale of 700 cups in Premium, that totals to 63,000, and 550 cups in Deluxe, which yields a 60,500 pesos total sales. Now, the total amount of all sales in all category amounts to 198,500. So for each of the figures in the variable expenses row, these figures are calculated by multiplying the variable cost in each category by the total amount of cups sold. So under Classic, 1,500 cups times the variable cost of 30.25 is equal to 45,375. The same process applies in getting the total variable cost under the Premium and Deluxe category. For the contribution margin, this is also computed by deducting the variable expenses from the sales. In this table, we have also presented the sales, variable expenses, and contribution margin for each cup sold. Under Classic, we have 50 as selling price minus the variable expenses of 30.25, and the difference would be a contribution margin of 19.75 per cup. Again, the same process applies to the rest of the figures. Now, the amounts highlighted on this table plays a significant role in getting the break-even point in cups and break-even point in peso, which will be discussed later. So to continue, the formula to get the break-even point in cups is fixed expenses divided by the unit contribution margin. For Classic, 22,870 divided by the unit contribution margin of Classic, which is 19.75, the break-even point in cups is 1,158. For Premium, 22,870 divided by 35.5 is equal to 645 cups, and for Deluxe, 22,870 divided by 43.5 is equal to 526 cups. So to get the break-even point in peso, we need to divide fixed expenses by the unit contribution margin ratio. So again, 22,870 divided by 39.50% is equal to 57,898.73. That is for Classic. For premium, 22,870 divided by 39.44 is equal to 57,980.28. And for deluxe, we have 22,870 divided by 39.50% is equal to 57,832.18. As what you can see here is the break-even point in peso for each category of milk teas. So to check and verify if our break-even point in peso is correct, let us deduct the break-even sales in peso by the variable expenses, and the difference is our contribution margin. From these, we will deduct the fixed expenses, and the net income is now equal to 0. In this table, as what we have defined and discussed earlier, this conforms to the concept of break-even point that there is no net income or no net losses for certain company or business, and this is what it means when we say that the profit is equal to 0. So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you all for watching and listening. Have a great day ahead and God bless.